beaming from Pacific Junction Hotel to Earth. Girth.
But I feel definitely Kyrie Irving wants to like go at it with someone.
Yeah. I also found too, Durant just recently said he's gonna talk openly and honestly now.
Yeah, I've seen that all season this year.
Yeah, like
it's ridiculous.
He's dropping curses and like.
Well, not just that. Is it like calling out the entire media about MVPs and stuff? I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You're so long, Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, no. Now he's serious.
Yeah. It's like he grew up all of a sudden. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I like this guy. I liked it's so hard to like, I don't know. Like, there's not a whole lot of guys like Tim Duncan. Actually, I appreciate Tim Duncan's demeanor because it's just like, he's like, who is this guy? He's like some sort of crazy mystery. And it's like, I remember basketball players being like that. Like Larry Bird is still a mystery to me. Like, everyone on court knew what he was like, but like off the court, you were like, who is this guy? And then you find out later, like, he's this horrible person. It's like, it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's like builds the myth. But like, I don't know. I just stop talking to the media. Stop, just play.
It's hard though now because they have, well, especially somebody like Durant and Kobe and stuff. They have all the sponsorship. They're their face, right? Like Duncan is kind of like a face, but it's a face with an asterisk. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I love. I love the fact that he's like, you know his face, and you know his game, kind of, because you always think, oh man, he's way too old to be doing this. But then all of a sudden you're like, frig, how is he like? He just got 4 blocks against my favorite team, and he had like 27 and 10 or whatever. It's like, you're way too old to be doing this.
Yeah.
But then it's like that whole thing, like you don't know anything about him.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's that have you seen that? I think it's a Foot Locker commercial with D-Rose where he calls him up and he calls up Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and they're talking. He's like,
yeah. And he's like, D-Rose is at the end. Is like, he's so excited, and he's like, I knocked over a plan.
Yeah, that's funny.
And it's like that really, they nailed it there with like Tim Duncan, like how everyone kind of perceives him. Because even for as long as he's been in the league for over 15 years now.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you remember. So when Tracy McGrady was on Houston and he made the All-Star game, and like after the game, they were talking like the conference or like the news conference, and they're like, what if people come to see this? And Duncan just kind of sat there, and Tracy McGrady was like, well, they don't come to see like fundamentals like being played. Nobody wants to see a drop step on the block.
Yeah,
it's like people come to see like guards be electric, and Duncan just got up and walked away.
Yeah,
and he thought it was a big joke, and everyone was like, oh, Tim Duncan's mad, and he's like, oh, like because he just. Like, no one, not even at that point. I mean, he had been in the league like 10 years at least already. And everyone's pussyfooting around. They're like, I didn't want to upset Tim Duncan.
Yeah. But that's the thing, too, though. It's like, it's valid. I've seen the Spurs play, like, when they come to Toronto, and it is kind of a boring game. It's not like, you know what I mean?
I would say yes. From a fan, like a casual fan point of view, it is a boring game. But when you, like... It's like a really, really good chess match. Like,
that's a good way to put it.
If you know chess, it's exciting to watch a good chess match. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about chess. To me, that would be boring. It's a bunch of guys just sitting there and slapping a clock, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how the Spurs play. So if you know basketball and you like know plays and you can watch like spacing and all that stuff, then it's like poetry, right? Like, you got to appreciate it.
Well, and it was also too good just because Duncan is one of the ones you got to check off the list, like out of the last. Group or whatever I've been playing for the last few years. You know what I mean? Kobe obviously is another one. Durant's another one. Westbrook. And so you just gotta Tim Duncan. You just gotta check it off. And because he's so inconsistent, how they rest him and all that kind of stuff now.
I know when you actually get to see him, you're like, I scored.
Yeah,
I know. How do you feel about the fact that like this new or this generation that kind of we grew up with, like being our like Kobe and Duncan and like I don't even know who else I'd put in that, but like Steve Nash, like they're all like on their way out instead of like this. You know, like I know those players. I watch them like come in the league. It's like now you're watching them leave. Like, how does that make you feel?
Well, two things. One is it makes me feel old, right? Because it's like, because when you see like when they introduce them at the beginning of the starting, and there's like Tim Duncan's been playing for 17 years. I'm like, no, it hasn't. Like, and you start to add it up. I'm like, oh snap, that was 17.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other thing too is just like, there is every group. Like especially when the Jordan era, like they had characters. They had people like Barkley who would just go off in interviews all the time, and then Jordan was kind of different, but then he would just kind of talk during the games. And Sean Kemp, you had characters, and so it's like a TV show. This group of characters with Durant and Tim Duncan and Nash are gone now, and I don't feel like the next group is just kind of as strong yet, or like they haven't developed. Like the next cast isn't as solid.
Yeah, I see that. I think that they're starting to come into their own. I feel like, to me, I'd put Durant in this new group. LeBron, I'd still put in this new group. But then you got guys like, obviously we're seeing like Kyrie Irving step up a little bit and be part of this new group. Damian Lillard, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I think that as the torch is being passed, I feel like they kind of grow into their characters. I mean, like, I never really watched wrestling, but you always knew the storyline, right? Like, there's like, you know, the guy just came in and was just like getting beat down all the time. And then all of a sudden, like, something happened in the storyline. And all of a sudden, he's the guy that everyone cheers for, right? So, I don't know. I feel like we just aren't in the point where we're getting the storyline with these guys. Cause
That's a good way to... Yeah, but there's also no good guys and bad guys, too, right? Like,
yeah, that's something that really bothers me about basketball now. Is like, really, like, it used to be, oh, man, like, it's my Suns versus your Chicago Bulls, right, in the finals, or you know, like the two like dark horses of Karl Malone and John Stockton, and everyone's like, who are you gonna choose? Are you gonna choose those guys? Are you gonna choose Scotty and Michael? And it's like there was like this like positive negative pull, but there isn't that. Everyone's friends. They're too friendly.
They're too friendly. Yeah, I mean that's I think what was why it blew up for Miami when LeBron went and Bosh went or whatever, and it's just like it's almost laziness in a way, and nobody appreciates laziness.
Yeah, I do appreciate this thing that like that I mean I haven't really seen it, but I've heard about like people yelling at Dwight while he's playing. I feel like it's kind of like that thing where you know it's great. Like, because it gives fans, like, a storyline rather than just basketball. I feel like we want that. We want to be entertained beyond just, you know, everyone's following NBA on Twitter. Everyone's, like, you know, reading on the blogs. Like, there's, like 7,000 gazillion blogs out there about basketball? Like, give us some storylines to talk about, right? So
the interesting thing, too, was... like Durant did like that MVP speech or whatever. Remember that? And he was like, "Oh, crying." I'm like, when did they start doing speeches? And like, I don't remember Jordan or anybody like back in the day, Barkley doing any speeches.
I remember Allen Iverson being like accepting it on the court, and then going out and dropping 52. Right?
Yeah,
like it was like that's how I roll.
Yeah, and I'm like, when did we start doing that now? And like they're just doing all this like YouTube stuff and whatever. And
I think it's because he literally wanted to like bring the entire team and sit them down and you know like have them on camera with him. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean. I had some serious respect for that because there's guys like a Nick Collison who get no love in the NBA at all. Like I'm a big fan of that kid, but it's just like you know, without a guy like him behind you, you're never gonna get the numbers you do because you got to have someone who's like, all right, I recognize what my role is completely. Yeah. I'm gonna fulfill that role.
He's a garbage man.
Yeah, exactly.
He just cleans it up.
But then he's like, you know, he makes sure he does whatever he can to like make his boy look good, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, I feel like, you know, that was nice of him to do that. But yeah, I mean, like, come on.
I know.
Just first off, you should be longer in the playoffs so that you can accept it before a game.
Yeah.
But that obviously didn't have with Westbrook going down. But still, I mean, like. No.
If we're gonna pick on OKC, I think the window for them to blow it all up passed now. I think they had a chance where they could have just scrapped it all and started all over and just built around Durant again. And then I think now they've just committed to the, you know what I mean, especially losing Cephalosha now. And like, I think
Cephalosha coming to the Hawks.
That's
a big one.
That was a big one. But I think OKC, and especially because how loaded the West is. Yeah. I think that time, and it's unfortunate if Durant ends up in one of those guys who's like, he's so good, but he never...
Well, it's funny. Funny you said that, because I actually have heard... I mean, he's got a way better supporting cast than Dominique Wilkins ever did, but I've heard people talk about his game being like Dominique's game, right? I mean, Dominique, a little bit more of like the inside scorer than Durant, but still, like, it's a very similar game, so who knows, right? Like, I mean, I really do like the combination of the pure finesse scorer with the, like, attacking, like, bulldog guy in Westbrook. I was kind of hoping for more out of like Perry Jones III and those guys coming in. Yeah. But I mean, like you see the potential there. I don't know how. Like maybe it's Scott Brooks, maybe it's something like in the development of that team. But I just feel like you're right. They're stagnant, right?
It's not working anymore. No. I think you need to start seeing other players.
Yeah. I want my stuff back.
Yeah.
We're breaking up.
Yeah, that's it. I'm taking my toothbrush. I'm out of here. So
for sure.
How about the Hawks though? The Hawks they could actually get to the Eastern Conference Finals potentially if they roll through the.
What is this potentially stuff?
You think
you know that no matter what happens in this conversation, I'm gonna battle tooth and nail like for the Hawks, right? Like
no, I know that.
Anything else?
Because to me the X factor is where the Cavs end up in the playoffs.
But see, I don't. To me, I mean, the biggest game changer for the Cavs right now has been the pickup of Timothy Mozgov. To me, that's huge. Yeah. Because without that, they have like I think they have a huge hole.
Yeah.
But I still, when it comes to the playoffs, it's like grit and bench. Grit and bench. Cleveland, I mean, if Amon Shumpert can, like, go back to where he was when he was in his rookie year, maybe.
With the hair.
The hair. What? Let's not even go there, because you and I are both gonna like get in tears.
Yeah,
by
I
that.
know. But he was so good with the hair,
He
though.
was so good with the hair. He's like Samson.
Yeah. I think once he
Cut the
got a
hair.
cut, he was just like terrible. He couldn't shoot threes, and he was
No.
like, I'm like, what happened to you?
I don't know what happened. Anyway, I feel like, I mean, they're good pickups, but I really feel like it's the bench, right? There is no dip really when the Hawks go to their bench right now. And the thing is that, you know, you've got a killer shooter, which you need to spread the floor. You cannot leave Kyle Korver open for like a second.
Yeah.
Not even like 0.5 of a second, because you know as soon as you do, Al Horford is one of the best passing big men. Paul Millsap is a huge assist numbers for a big guy. It's like any single one of those guys can get an assist, right? They're what, second league in assists, and it's like they just love sharing the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, depth, spacing, and grind. That gets you far in the playoffs, and I feel like it doesn't matter where the Cavs end up.
I only said the Cavs because I know that if sometimes some of those whistles a little bit of controversial in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay, I will say that the playoffs.
That's a big.
The playoffs need star power.
Yeah, and you know sometimes how whether conspiracy or not, but you know sometimes some of those whistles. We saw that last year with Toronto and the Nets and things like that. Like,
but I feel like having these 4 All-Stars tonight for the Hawks gives them suddenly shine. Like all of a sudden the refs are like, okay, there's 4 guys made the All-Star team, 5 guys made Player of the Month, which is insane. Like that's ridiculous. So it's like you know that somewhere down the road they're actually getting some love from someone.
Yeah.
So. I don't know, man. I still think. I mean, there's been some terrible games called against them. Yeah. But they've just grinded it out.
Yeah.
And I think because there is no star, but they can all make the big shot. Like Jeff Teague has been ridiculous this year. But like to me, he's the second best point guard in the East.
Yeah.
Like I would say him and Kyle Lowry are second A, like 2A and 2B. But I don't know, man. He's just R2D2 just called.
Okay.
I feel like
he wants to chip into the ball.
he's always got something to say.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something about what the Hawks have right now that's special.
Yeah. The Hawks actually look good, whereas like Washington looks good but looks beatable.
Yeah. And again, I think that's bench. To me that's bench, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, and Bradley Beal being injured, that definitely does not help. But their draft picks in the last little while haven't really gotten anything, right?
Yeah.
They haven't gotten any development from them. And you look at, like, Otto Porter versus Mike Scott, drafted, I think, the same year. But, like, it's like that role player that they need energy-wise, and you're getting nothing from Otto.
Yeah.
Great name, but other than that. And then you're getting, like, tons out of Mike Scott for the Hawks. It's, like, I mean, if I would I trade John Wall for Jeff Teague? Yes. Would I trade... Damari Carroll for Bradley Beal and then slide Kyle Korver to the 3? Yes, of course. But it's still, I don't know. If you asked me to swap full units, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. And I mean, but Washington did get better with Paul Pierce because he just does that irritating 3. He's one of those irritating guys. He'll get you that stupid irritating 3 in the 4th.
Yes.
When you need it the most.
And he's like, remember, I don't know if you've ever played at the like YMCA or local gym or whatever, when there's that old dude who just knows all of the things to like get under your skin, and like, he's like, man, I hate playing against you.
Yeah.
Like, I would love it if you were on my team.
Yeah.
But you're super annoying.
Yeah.
And I feel like Paul Pierce totally fills that role.
He's always been annoying though, like because his body still hasn't looked like he's never been in a gym.
No.
Like he's never lifted a weight. Like
there's no way that when he jumps, you can slide a piece of paper underneath him. There's no way. It physically is impossible.
And but again, it's just that 3, and that's all you need him to do, and then a couple of fouls, and then that's it.
Yeah. But I don't know. See, to me, again, I'd still like if you were Washington. Would you not want, if you could afford it, would you not want Trevor Ariza back?
Yeah. Ariza,
like defensively.
Yeah.
Because
but Ariza's having some good games though for Houston. And like it's back to the old Ariza because there was a window there where he was like the same thing where he went sour and everyone kind of wrote him off. Even I wrote him off too. I'm like, because he was amazing. And then he got sour. And then now he's back at it again.
Do you think it's contract? Do you think that these guys play like, I don't, there's some guys who like play really, really well in the contract year. And there's guys who like, they don't like the uncertainty of not knowing where they're going to be, so it actually affects their numbers?
I think for Ariza, because where was he before when he was terrible? He was in a bad team. And I think that's what it is for him. I think if he knows that he can't be competitive, there's no point. He doesn't care. Like, if we can't win, then I'm out.
Yeah, but he was winning like that. I don't know. I feel like I also hate Paul Pierce. I'll be straight up with that. But
there's a lot of haters there. He gets a lot of hate.
It's like I either grow some actual facial hair or just shave it off. Don't keep whatever that is. It's gross. But I just feel like if I was on the Wizards or like a fan of the Wizards, I'd want that defense.
Yeah.
More for the playoffs than for the season.
Yeah.
But I mean, they need that.
Yeah.
I feel like they need someone who, like, you know, when they're down a little bit, to be like, you know what, give me the best player on the floor. I will guard him and I will shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like every team needs that or wants that.
Yeah. Well, the East still plays defense too. It's one of the few, like, you know what I mean. The West still kind of goes first one to 120 basically.
Other than the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
It's like yeah. I feel like, man, if Golden State and Dallas end up in the Western Conference Finals, I feel like the over-under per game is going to be 250.
Yeah. It'll be like an All-Star game score, basically.
Yeah. There's like, that would be pretty awesome.
It would be pretty awesome.
It's like playing video games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like first one 120 wins the game.
Not even 120. It's like you got it like 145 is like the cap. You hit 145, you're going to win this.
Yeah. That would be fun. Golden State is tearing it up.
Golden State is tearing it up. I don't know what it is. I mean, Klay Thompson, I think, is the real thing.
Yeah.
I love Spates. I love Murray Spates. I am shocked that he bounced around and ended up there. They need Bogut, though.
Yeah.
Like, for the playoffs, they need Bogut.
Mm-hmm.
Who, I don't know, we saw, like, last week was, like, sleeping on the plane when they were all, like, singing and whatever. I mean, I'm hoping that was just a hoax and he wasn't actually sleeping on the plane.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was legit, like, passed out on a pile of money.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, they need him for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They need him. David Lee, I have no idea what happened to David Lee.
He's another one, like, kind of like Trevor Ariza. He just kind of comes and goes.
Yeah. Remember that? Like, I mean, he was averaging almost 20 and 20 in New York, and then he got this huge contract, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Maybe he is one of those contract guys you were talking about, like.
Maybe. But, yeah, he was, I mean, he definitely played himself into a huge contract.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see, I would love to see, like, a Hawks Memphis. We talked about this, and you're like, there'd be like 12 people watching the finals.
Yeah.
But to me, it's real basketball. Like,
it
is exactly what basketball should be. I mean, I coach basketball. I play basketball my whole life. And I just, like, to me, that's real basketball. I want to see that.
Yeah.
And not just that, is that, man, that Marc Gasol story is ridiculously awesome. Like, he came over because Powell got drafted. He hung out in Memphis. He, like, fell in love with the city so much that he didn't want to play anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when he found out he was drafted or, like, they traded or whatever and he got moved to Memphis, he's like, yep, I'm coming now. And then he went from, like, being Powell's little brother to legitimately the best center in the league.
Yeah.
It's it's like a made-for-TV movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't cheer against that. And, like, you have this other guy on the other side who's, like, way less finesse, has absolutely no vertical in Zach Randolph, who was one of the Jailblazers, who bounced around,
I forgot about that phrase.
got overpaid to go to New York.
Yeah.
All of a sudden shows up in Memphis, and, like, everyone's like, holy crap, this guy is I mean, he's been putting up the same numbers the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's like he's found a place, he's getting the respect, he's playing beside a center who's, like, perfect for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like, it's such a good story, the two of them, that I want to root for them. And not just that, is that I still want to call them the Vancouver Grizzlies.
All right, we can.
Just because.
I see quite a bit of Vancouver Grizzlies gear still floating around Toronto.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's surprisingly.
And it's funny. I don't know if you noticed this. It's funny that it's not. I mean, not that it would be a Bryant Reeves jersey, but it's Mike Bibby.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. To me, it's Sharif. Right?
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Like, it's not like, I don't think of Bibby as that. I think, to me, Bibby wasn't even, like, a big deal until he went to the Kings. Right? And then even playing with the Hawks, like, he was a big deal then, but he wasn't, like, I wouldn't put him as I mean, like, Tracy McGrady on the Raptors jersey, that throwback one, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But it does not make sense, Bibby on the...
Yeah, well...
It's like their history here was that bad in Canada that it was that bad that it's Mike Bibby.
But it's also just weird because I didn't feel like they lasted long enough to really have that kind of nostalgia. Whereas for a while when we didn't have the Hornets, everyone was still wearing the Hornets gear because the Hornets were, like, The Hornet,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning and
Alonzo,
Muggsy,
yes.
like Larry Johnson, like those were characters.
Grandma.
We're going full circle now, back to characters.
Yeah.
And it was like the Hornet, and they had that rumbling in the
Yeah.
playoffs, and it's like, yo, everyone kind of got into the Hornets.
Do you remember? Did you watch that game where Jeff Van Gundy was being dragged around the court by Alonzo Mourning? Man, that literally was like
Yeah.
a WWE. Was it now? Just WW?
No, it is WWE.
It
yeah.
is WWE.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's that actually happens.
Yeah.
Like Hulk Hogan was. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But it's like one of those things where, yeah. I mean, I still, Bibby, Grizzlies, Bibby.
Yeah, I know.
I got love for Bibby, but
Yeah.
I still wish that Kings team had won something.
The Kings team's always going to be a heartbreaker. They've had some good runs. They've had some great players. They've had some great teams. They've just...
Would you put them? You know, how there's like that list of like best teams that never won. Would you put that Peja?
Yeah.
That was like, remember Frosted Tips, Hedu Turkoglu?
No, yeah. I'd rather not, but yes.
Like that team was legit, right?
Yeah.
Like you had Chris Webber, Vlade Divac. Like they were out. They remembered and did the cheerleader dance moves on the halftime, and they would go out and dance with them. Like that team was so much fun.
Yeah.
And they didn't win. And like that Phoenix Suns team with Amari. Remember when who body checked Steve Nash into the boards? Like it was some sort of hockey game.
Oh, that
Was
rings
that
a bell.
Robert Ory?
I'll go with Robert Ory. We'll go with Robert Ory. Let's slam Robert Ory. I'm not 100% sure.
But it's like that Suns team too, right? It's like
Yeah.
that one moment took them completely out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, because like Amari got suspended for the next game
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
rushed on the court. It's like, I feel like if you can make a list of like the best teams never to win a chip, I would definitely put those two on
The
there.
Suns also, too, are like Sacramento. They had a couple of, like the Barkley team with Thunderdan and all that stuff.
Yes.
They had some good teams.
Kevin Johnson,
They've had
the
some
mayor.
good players come through the,
Yeah.
They've had some great team players come through the team, but I just couldn't get it together. The Sonics are another one.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Gary Payton.
Yeah.
When Gary Payton said, "Let me take Jordan," and actually like put him on lock.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the Sonics have kind of rolled into OKC. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same.
Do you want to get into that? Do you want to get into teams rolling into other teams?
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Yeah. We haven't even talked about why you're actually here. But
No,
yeah.
look, no, but let's do this because
Okay.
this is awesome.
Okay.
Okay. This is if we could go back in team history, like
Yeah.
in history, right? You move the team,
Mhm.
everything, the history of the team stays in that city. Nothing moves.
Yeah.
It starts new and fresh.
Right.
So, Minneapolis
Mhm.
is still the Minneapolis Lakers.
Right.
Because let's be honest, LA Lakers doesn't make any sense. There's
Yeah,
no
I
lakes
know.
at
It's
all.
like the
and like,
ocean or something.
and those first 5 championships,
Yeah.
they stay.
Yeah.
So now there's like a story when, like, whatever it is, 30 years later, when Minnesota Timberwolves, like that franchise, now they get the name back, they get the
Yeah.
logo back, and they get the history back. All of a sudden, to me, that builds, it builds on more and more of what's going on,
Yeah.
right? Like, it gets really confusing. Now, Charlotte Hornets have only been around for, what is it, like,
1 season, 2 seasons.
well, but when you add in the Bobcats,
Oh,
because
okay.
they changed their name,
Yeah.
it's like they've only been around for like 6, 8 seasons or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, right? It's like a weird thing because that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
They never had Larry Johnson, like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They never had that Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, Muggsy Bogues team.
Mhm.
That's not their history anymore.
I know.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I know. That was one of the things they were fighting with when they lost the Sonics, right? Because they would lose all that history.
Yeah, the history and the name should stay,
They should stay.
and they should go back and redo it all.
But why do you think the NBA lets it all go? Like, why do the Lakers, the LA Lakers, get the championships and everything else? And
I feel like that's part of what they're paying for. I mean, I don't know how much the Lakers sold for way
Yeah.
back in the day. I have no idea, but I feel like that's part of it. I feel like that is like the package. Hey, you're gonna buy this team?
Yeah.
We'll sell you the whole history, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's like you get
Yeah.
it's like encyclopedia
Yeah.
of whatever, or the DVDs. It's like,
because the Sonics won like in '79 or whatever
Yeah.
it was, like something ridiculous. So it's like it doesn't have any cachet.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So it's like, oh, by the way, here's a championship that they just.
But see, the thing that's crazy is that if the Seattle SuperSonics ever come back, Gary Payton was never on the roster
Yeah.
because that roster moved to OKC. It doesn't
Yeah.
make, it doesn't make sense to me. It shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that.
This has Sean Kemp retired his number yet, or like where would he retire his number?
I don't think you like. That's what I'm saying. Like you got to retire Gary Payton's number at some point, and
Yeah.
Sean Kemp, but you can't because you're not going to retire them
Go back
in
to
the
Key
OKC
Arena and
rafters. Right? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
yeah, we did nothing for the city.
And yeah, exactly. And there's just one of those things where it's like there's hindsight. Obviously, is easy to like change it, but like when you have zero foresight, which the NBA has a history of, right? Like the cable deal they made with the ABA guys.
yeah. The
Like,
Spirit
there's-
of St. Louis.
Yeah, there's
that was the most brilliant business deal in history.
like there's when there's no foresight, it
Mhm.
just bothers me, especially with such a large group of like
lawyers and investors.
yeah,
and
it's like and businessmen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like there's like, how can you not see that this is going to be one confusing,
Mhm.
two not make any sense, and three suck later on if the franchise comes back, right?
Yeah. So then the question is then, do you still want to be called the Toronto Huskies or the Toronto Raptors?
I don't want either. I don't. I mean, Huskies to me makes more sense because then it actually brings back that 45 team, right?
Yeah.
But and it should be like that. Like unless you apply for a name change, it should stick with what the original was, whether you had an NBA or ABA franchise.
Right.
And again, all that history comes. So right now, the Toronto history starts in '95,
Mm-hmm.
right? But 50 years before that, there were guys who should have been on the roster, right? And like could have been part of an all-time team or whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy we had kept the Huskies, eh? If we'd been rolling
It would
from
have been
like
amazing.
yeah, like we would have potentially had some competitive teams along the way. And
Yeah, we probably would have actually a championship at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
It is sad.
It's funny because all the stuff that's going on like Twitter and Instagram for me or whatever is like some guys like, yeah, and how many Eastern Conference finals have you guys been to and how many championships have you won? I'm like, in the last 20 years, it's not like there's a whole lot of teams who have won. It's
Mhm.
like there's like the same, like the Spurs,
Yeah.
the Heat, right? They've won 3.
Yeah.
Dallas, Pistons, like it's like
yeah.
it's
Bulls
like you can't.
won like 6 right there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
since like the Raptors have come along, like,
Yeah, okay,
it's just
yeah.
like one of those things where it's like, man, you could say that, but like this guy was a Golden State Warriors fan. I'm like, how many championships are Golden
Yeah.
State Warriors? Like, don't let's not go there. Like,
Yeah. You
I
guys
mean-
just got good too.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, man, just give it a rest.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
But this is why we have you on because
Right.
You
Right.
were on NBA TV talking about Vinsanity,
I
The-
was
the Vince Carter days here, the glory days.
amazing. That tooth. Okay, my buddy put this on Facebook yesterday, and like it's totally true. This is my message to Vince Carter. You screwed all dunk competitions for all of us. All of us.
Mm-hmm.
We can't watch them anymore. They're terrible because of you. You owe us. You owe us.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he could still go. I mean, he could do it. He could still win if he came back.
Came back here, you mean, or come back?
No,
in-
like when is the dunk competition at like whatever he is,
Oh.
80.
yeah,
he's not 80.
yeah. I think he could do it. I think there was a Dr. J movie just last year, the year before, and he dunked at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he's like I don't know 70
Wait,
or 80. Or,
Do you remember last year when all the guys, like all the big guys, turned 50 and they're like, I can still go to the gym and I can
Yeah.
still dunk it, and you're like, oh, you can. It
Yeah.
looks really sad, but
Yeah.
you can still dunk it.
But yeah, it's not quite from the free throw line anymore. It's just like right under
yeah,
the basket.
exactly. But yeah, no, man, Vince in 2000, like he destroyed the dunk competition.
Yeah.
From then on, I mean, there's been some decent ones, but like
I'm not a fan of the props and like jumping over the car and like jumping over Shaq. and,
that Blake Griffin's jumping over the car thing was weak.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, turn the car the other way, make it look good.
yeah. Like, it was just,
Or jump over the high part of the car.
yeah.
You can jump over the hood. I can jump onto the hood of a car, and
Yeah.
I'm 5'7", and I have 0 hops.
Yeah.
So jumping over a car for a guy who's like that big and that tall and jumps all the time for a living, gets
Yeah.
paid for it, doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
The one prop dunk that I will say, and I think Kenny Smith had this on his list. I don't know if you saw that list last
No.
night. Was JaVale McGee's double net
Oh.
because he tossed it off the backboard,
Yeah.
off the one backboard.
Yeah.
Dunked with his left hand, caught it with his right hand, and dunked it with his right hand on a different net. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's a prop dunk. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's a few like that you can kind of just let go, but
It's not like NBA 2K where you can pull it like the Sprite machine and jump over the Sprite machine.
yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
It should
That would be kind of cool though.
That would be. Oh well, okay. So last night when Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is just so much fun to say,
Yeah.
when he
You
came
did a
out,
better job than I did. I can't even get through
no,
it.
that's fine. When he came out with the Greek flag,
Yeah.
and the girls were standing just past the free throw line, in your head, weren't you thinking, he's going to jump over that flag?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Because that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of beautiful Greek girls, I'm assuming they were Greek, or just random chicks he found,
Yeah.
with a flag, which is a super cool flag, and he flies over it for the dunk from the free throw line. I would have given him a 50.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who wouldn't have, but then he did. Then the flag went away, and he missed 3 dunks in a row. And
Yeah. And then that's it.
There's so much potential.
I know. Those are always a heartbreaking one too. And somebody does something amazing and then just get it off the back of the rim.
Yes.
Because then you see what they were doing. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that could have been.
Yeah, the could have beens.
Yeah.
I feel like the could have beens are good.
There should be like we should see if there's like a YouTube video of just like could have been.
Could have beens.
Yeah. And
Like
just,
that one year when Chris Anderson dunked attempted to dunk 40 times, and everyone's like,
yeah.
like people were just praying for him to leave.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
It
this
is
hurts
because
me.
it hurts.
Yeah.
It does hurt.
It's funny. My wife loves Saturday night, but she's like, why do I watch the dunk competition? She literally hid under a blanket when they were missing yesterday because she's like, this is so awful for
Yeah.
them. I'm like, it's awful for us, Heidi.
Yeah.
It's awful for us to watch. This is brutal.
Yeah.
So,
So you were on NBA TV talking
Yes.
about Vince Carter and Vinsanity because you had drawn, or I guess put together. Or how do you describe it? Or like, what is your style? The splotchy.
the splotchiness.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So that whole style came from that sort of thing where it's like, okay, let me slow down here and
Alright.
try to explain this properly.
Break it down.
When you're a kid,
Mm-hmm.
you put a poster of your hero on the wall.
Right.
It's sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pretty cool. Even in university, you probably still have 1 or 2 posters of like your heroes on the wall.
Spider-Man.
Sure.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Jordan, my buddy, I think he's still got it in his house way up in Espanola. He's got a Mark Price poster.
That's keeping it real.
That's legit, right?
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where it's like you've got this hero who's hung on your wall.
Mhm.
As you grow up, it's like you don't really detach yourself ever from that kid or that moment or like, you know, that hero.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not cool to put a poster up on your wall anymore. So I kind of took those people, those heroes, and tried to find like an iconic moment or an iconic pose of them
Mm-hmm.
and do some art. And then because like, you know, street art is really, really popular, like putting in your house, I try to make it look like an unfinished work of art. Because I draw with a mouse,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I know a lot of people are like, why? It's like it still has that digital line because everything's digital.
Yeah.
So it still has that digital line where it's like really crisp, but if you draw with like a tablet or with like a pencil or whatever like that, and then scan it over or draw with the pen tool in Illustrator, it's like too perfect. So in order to like give that like kind of unfinished, more organic feel to a digital print, I draw with a mouse because then it's jagged and like people are like, it's so hard to draw with a mouse. I'm like, yeah, that's the point,
Mhm.
is because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
So then I do that. But yeah, so I did one of Vince. It started with me just talking about the fact that I was thinking of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this art fest at the Distillery District this past Labor Day weekend. I will be there again next Labor Day weekend. It was my first art festival. I kind of set up in a tent on that side street. I don't even know where all the restaurants are. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And this guy just kind of like came by and was like, "Hey, cool stuff." And I'm like, "Thanks." And we just like chatted a little bit basketball, and he was like a big Michael Jordan fan.
You
Like,
also have a Michael Jordan.
I do.
I think you have a Karl Malone and
No.
no.
There will never
be a Karl
there will
Malone. Sorry,
never
there was a
be a
Stockton.
Karl Malone.
There was a
Karl
Stockton.
Malone, I think I actually hate you.
Yeah.
Just that's to you.
Sorry, there's a Stockton.
There is
one.
a Stockton
That's what I
one
was thinking of,
because John Stockton should be credited with all of the points that Karl Malone had.
yeah.
And all of Karl Malone's vast turnovers should be because he leads the league
Yeah.
in turnovers.
Yeah, like a
which is-
bakery.
But you have like the best or the second best point guard in the history of the NBA feeding you the ball,
Mhm.
and you still lead the league in turnovers. The NBA history in turnovers,
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah, I know.
So there will never be a Karl Malone. So I have some basketball. I also have some hip hop ones because to me, they go together.
Yeah.
Like basketball and hip hop, it is like there is a rhythm there that no other sport music style combined can get.
Yeah.
So it's like I have a lot of that stuff, and then I have like Batman and Robin, but the original like Batman and Robin, like
Yeah.
Adam West, and Dick Grayson.
Darth Vader. I saw Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. I got Han and Chewie. That's for my wife because she's like way too into Star Wars. Sometimes I wonder how I married such a nerd, but I still love you, baby.
I'm not going near that one. So the dude
I did
came
Optimus
by.
Prime.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so I have all these. This guy came by. We were talking ball. He really liked the stuff, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if she's looking at me or what's going on. Hi.
This
we're
is
talking.
what happens when you have a radio station in a bar. People
true.
wander in and it's
We were, So we were talking ball, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I work for NBA TV Canada." He's like, "Can I take your card?" And I'm like, "Yep, sure." He's like, "Are you doing any Raptor stuff?" And I'm like, "I'm working on a couple things." At that point, I was working on just a Kyle Lowry and a Vince, and then some guy who I met, some other guy, ended up asking for like the starting 5 of the Raptors. So that came out.
The current starting 5?
The current starting 5. So Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, Terrence Ross, Amir Johnson, Jonas Valanciunas. And that one, I love that print. But so it went on, like, I put it on Instagram, was like, "Yeah, I just sold this to a guy in Ottawa. He was a really, really cool guy. Commission work." And then all of a sudden I get all these weird messages on Instagram, like, "Hey, Craig Caucasian. Hey, Craig." That's what not Craig White, it's Craig Caucasian, because I'm white and Caucasians are white. Just to kind of put that little puzzle together real quick.
Yeah.
Not that it was a difficult puzzle. He's like, "Hey, there's 2 pieces of this puzzle. Let's put it together."
Yeah.
Anyway, and then so Terrence Ross had apparently picked up that Instagram piece and like put it on his thing and like got 5,000 likes in like seconds, and I had, I think, maybe 16 at that point. But people were tagging me and being like, "Yo, this is going on, and then this guy Dave Leiter, who's like one of the coolest guys I've ever met, he like emailed me and he's like, "Hey, I saw that piece is blowing up for you. That's awesome. Let's hook up. I still want to do that story. Are you still working on that Vince piece?" I'm like, "Yep. Here's where I'm at right now." And I basically just sent him. So I start by just like drawing a basic silhouette of, like, I try and like fill my head with as many images of that night or whatever iconic pose as possible, and then I go and I sit down and I build the silhouette. So it's like I'm building this like lump of clay to like carve out of. So I sent him stuff and he's like, "That's really, really cool." And then I started doing like shoes, which is a big deal for me. I know you love shoes too. And like stuff like the ball, the Raptors jersey, stuff like that. So then I started building that stuff and sending him. He's like, "Okay, this totally has to happen for you." So I was like, "That's awesome, man." I'm like, "I'm cool if it doesn't happen, but if it does, let's do it." Right. So we tried a bunch of stuff, and then the Raptors started to do really, really well. And then they
Thanks
started
to Drake.
Yeah, thanks to Drake. And then they started doing this like open gym thing, and the hangout started getting big again.
Yeah.
So he didn't have all the time, so we just did it like, I said like again, man. So we started emailing back and forth after Christmas. He hooked us up with a location in January at this place called Come and Get It on Queen Street near Bathurst. Amazing, amazing restaurant. Literally blown away by the food. Like my first bite of whatever I got, a sandwich, I was like, "This is awesome. This is so good." So anyway, we sat there on, I think it was maybe it was a Wednesday or Thursday morning. And we just like sat there for 3 hours and talked about the art and talked about basketball and talked about what it meant to me as a Raptors fan, talked about what I saw in Toronto since then and now with this new group coming out, and just kind of left it. And I didn't hear anything from him until last week. And he's like, "I'm finishing it up. You know, it's looking really, really good." I was super nervous because I didn't have any say in anything that was going on. And he apparently they played it a little bit at the game against the Wizards.
Yeah, my friend was at that game.
Yeah, apparently they cut it off, that's okay. I don't care.
That's kind of rude, though.
Nah, it's fine.
All right.
I mean, I don't know that it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And then like Sheldon, is that the guy's name? Those 2 guys who talk about basketball before the game. They did a pregame show.
Oh yeah, I tune them out. So.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to say something super bad about them, but
yeah,
I just don't see. There's not a whole lot deep inside. Anyway, they were talking about it, and they threw it over to like me and my clip, and I started getting all these texts, and people were like, "Man, that was really, really good," and I couldn't watch it. And then the next day, one of the someone taped it on their phone and gave it to me, and I was like, oh, I can't watch it. But my wife forced me to watch it, and then it was actually really good. Like Dave did a really good job. He made me look amazing.
Yeah.
He put some super dramatic music behind it.
Yeah.
And then
You're like in an alleyway too, and
yeah, that's right across from Come and Get It. So it's like it all just kind of worked out. Like he scouted an amazing location. He asked the right things. I prepared only a little bit, and it was just really good. Like he did a great job. And then the next day, I find out that it's on Raptors. Like the Raptors tweet it.
Yeah.
And then Friday, NBA.com tweets it out. And I was just like, this is incredible. Like, I cannot believe that this is happening for me. Like, I'm super blessed. Like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, some guy not randomly, I'm sure it was God did it, put him at my booth in the Distillery District, and then I got tweeted out by NBA.com.
That's really cool. What's going to happen now? Are you going to keep going with some of the Raptor stuff and kind of do more? Because especially with the All-Star game coming here in a year from now.
Yes. Have I even decided what's going on? I mean, I think I finished, it was yesterday or the day before, I finished a Derek Jeter one that I had started in the summer. It was my first baseball print. I don't know. I mean, I don't plan it out. A lot of times it comes from like organic conversations with people. I'm sitting across the table from you, Sammy. You're wearing a Detroit Pistons one. I realize I've not done like any of the bad boys.
Oh, come on.
It would be amazing to have like.
I got the retro logo too.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. You need a starter jacket to go on top of that.
I was actually surprised. I went to a game, the ACC this year, and some of the gear by the Raptors is by starter. They have the S and
the starter jackets came back.
Yeah,
and they're amazing this summer. So
it was bizarre.
There's a girl you got to follow on Twitter. She got game.
Okay,
Megan Ann Wilson. I think that's what her name is. I'm sorry if I screwed that up, but she's awesome, and she tweeted out a picture of like all the old starter, like all the old school logo starter jackets that are all new
with the S-Star logo,
and the Detroit Pistons one is amazing. It's got like the embroidered like outline of the Detroit like in the script. It's so sick.
Yeah.
But like imagine how cool it would look for like Isaiah and Joe and Bill Laimbeer or Dennis Rodman, like just three of them like coming out of the thing together. Like so I don't plan it out.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes from requests. Even I mean, I as I said, I'll never do Karl Malone. But other than that, like I've done a Kobe print.
Yeah.
I have not been a fan of Kobe since 2005 when maybe it was the Karl Malone thing when he played with Karl Malone and Gary Payton and they totally blew it to the Detroit Pistons.
Oh yes, yeah.
And like then after that, he like complained so much and Phil Jackson left and Shaq. So I did a Kobe print of Kobe as number 8. Mm-hmm. In that first playoff series in 2001 where he just like crammed it down the lane.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that was on. I think, but it was like ridiculous. So I did a print of that. I've done a Jay-Z one, and I am not a Jay-Z fan. It's just like whatever people want, right? Like I started off just doing like people that I really wanted to do.
We're gonna veer off basketball for a second, but who's the since you mentioned Jay-Z, who's the better curator? Who has a better taste, Jay-Z or Pharrell? Because they're both kind of pimping, you know what I mean? Jay-Z has the Life and Times, and then Pharrell does a lot of like arty kind of things. He was just here at the Design Exchange or whatever with like, this is not a toy.
Yep.
So who's the better?
I'm always gonna not go with Jay-Z.
Just because it's Jay-Z.
Yeah, it's to me Jay-Z is doing whatever it is to like put money in his pocket. It's not about making good music or whatever. I mean, he has got some great lyrics. Mm-hmm. Some of his songs are fantastic. Some of his tunes are just are dope. But to me, it's like when you look, was it last All-Star game or the All-Star game before when like Pharrell came out and it did like a whole bunch of songs that were like the ones that he had been involved with.
Yeah.
Like from that Daft Punk one to like NERD. And it's like everyone's like, Pharrell did that?
Yeah.
Pharrell did that? And like all of a sudden everyone's like, man, Pharrell's freaking legit, right?
Yeah.
He's like touching everything. And it's like, he's just way more vast.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's what puts him out there. I mean, I don't know if he's my favorite producer. I don't think that would be the case or anything like that. But like, I mean, just when you're talking about full spectrum, and like that coming into it as well, I feel like Pharrell's got it on lock. Plus, he's working with Adidas right now, and they putting out some sick shoes, and I'm an Adidas head, so
There you go.
I got
That
it.
works out then. So then going back then to Pharrell and Adidas then, how, because you're a graphic designer and you work in like images and colors, and I'm simplifying obviously, but
well, that's basically what art is, right?
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you define then taste? Not even good taste, just taste.
Man, I would say this. If you like what you put on in the morning, that's taste. If you're just putting something on because it's there and you didn't, like, you don't literally, like, you just put it on and roll out of bed and you don't look at yourself once or anything like that, then you can't say that's taste. Even with music, if you're just like, I'll only listen to whatever's on the radio, I won't change the radio if I hate that song or whatever, then that's no taste. But if you have a playlist on your iPod, then you've got taste. It might not be the same taste as me.
Yeah.
If you go to the store and you don't just buy whatever's the cheapest price tag, like at IKEA, and then throw it in your house, you be like, this is actually worth that extra $10, then you've got taste. It's so hard, right? Because people are like, well, who are you designing for? And like, who do you like do this for? And why have them as your market audience? And I'm like, if you start to get into like, I just want to do something for the mass, then you're going to lose your taste.
Yeah.
And same thing with, like, as I said, like, if you're just putting on whatever clothes are like the first shirt, the first whatever that's coming at you, then you have no taste. But I think everyone does. Just your taste might not jive with mine. My taste might not jive with yours. Like, and that's okay, right? That's what makes it special to, like, walk around and see everyone. That's one of the reasons why I really love Toronto is, like, taste is so vast. And you can walk from one side of the Toronto to the other side of Toronto and really not see the same outfit.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see variations of it, but even then you'll see, like, everyone's got their own little, like, vibe in that. And
especially depending where you are, between Queen Street and like Bloor Street and...
Yeah. And then you, like, roll from, like, Etobicoke to Scarborough, and you're like, I just traversed the entire globe. Really?
That's a long road trip, though.
Yeah. But it's like you basically are traveling across the world.
Yeah.
Like, literally, and, like, for us Torontonians, physically. But, like, it's one of those things where, I don't know, taste is whatever. Like, there's lots of people who are like, man, Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time. I don't have to agree, but I'm like, if you can back it up and say, like, okay, this song shows me that he's the greatest rapper, or Eminem, someone's like, Eminem is the greatest rapper of all time, and it's like, you can say that this track to you shows that and whatever, then I'm like, okay, like, good. Like, you can't just say it is because, well, someone on the radio said it was.
Because
right?
I said so.
Yeah. So
what influences your taste then? You talked about Toronto. There's Toronto and Adidas, I guess.
That's a really good question. I grew up in a very small town-ish feel place and never really felt like I belonged, which is kind of like I know it's super cliche for an artist to say, I never really felt like I belonged.
Angst but is like, important.
But I grew up in a place that had very little multiculturalism. And I grew up not really feeling like I had to fake liking rock music.
Yeah.
So that I fit in. When all I did when I went home was like listen to like Diggable Planets and NWA and Wu-Tang Clan and like that's what I went through in high school, listening to that stuff, and like then I had to be like, yes, I really enjoyed the new Oasis album. It's fantastic. And it's like people were like, man, you dress weird in high school. You always wore colors, and it's just like I don't know. I just never really felt like I belonged there, and I don't know. I think part of my taste comes from just this idea of like trying to find where I fit and like trying different things and even now, like I don't know how you would describe my style. Maybe it's a combination of like skater, urban, hipster, preppy. I don't know what you would say, like, and I don't care. I don't want to be labeled as anything like that, but there is a thing that comes through, and same thing with my art that I do. Like there's the two different sides of it. Don't really mesh, right? There's the storytelling side, and then there's like these icons, and they don't really mesh, but you can totally see me in both of them. So it's like, I don't know, there's my taste direct me in two different ways, and I feel like everyone has that.
There's one of the things I like about cool, which is just as subjective as taste, but cool is able to encompass contradictions.
Yes.
It doesn't like solve them. It like
Yes.
it presents them, and somehow it kind of works.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about cool as if it's some sort of line or ladder that you go up. To me, cool is a wheel, right? Like, or a clock. At 12 o'clock is cool. Like, but you can like go so far away from cool that you come back to the point where you're even cooler on the other side. It's like this like nerdy becomes cool. And the thing is too is that with like trying to go directly across from what's cool, it puts you the point where you're so unique that then your clock flips and you become cool. And so there's cool is not a ladder. Cool is like a puddle that just people drop into, right?
But that's interesting though, because if cool is then a puddle, then can you buy you can't buy your way into cool, or you can't like.
I think a lot of people try to.
Yeah, because we see that with music a lot.
Yeah, we see that, and the thing is, maybe you can't. Maybe you can buy yourself into cool because then, in doing whatever, you make yourself into that cool thing, or you don't, and that becomes even cooler. The fact that you did it and didn't make it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Katy Perry's cool, but she also gets up and be like, "I'm not cool," which is cool.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, man. It's one of those words that I feel like. My kid says everything is cool. He's 4.
So everything is cool, though.
Everything is cool.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I think that he's more right about that than we are. I mean, you go to these art festivals and these art shows and stuff like that, and you can literally see everything from, like, some girl drawing, like, whatever she wants on a skateboard to some guy or whatever woman who has spent, 50 hours working in acrylics. And it's both of them are awesome, and both of them are cool. And it's like whatever you're drawn to is totally fine. It's so hard because I'm teaching my son all these lessons about you don't have to do this to fit in. You don't have to do this to fit in. It's like I need to learn that as well, and I'm learning more from teaching him about that stuff, and just realizing that like everyone is cool, and like I can have a conversation with somebody at an art festival that is like a 65-year-old male who doesn't like anything on his walls except for pictures of or like stuffed fish or pictures of old cars, and we can talk about it and it's cool, and I'm totally down with that. Or I can have a conversation with somebody like you who loves basketball and like we have so many similar interests, and that's also cool. Like to me, I just love how different everyone is. And I feel like the more you get to know one person or one thing even, the cooler it becomes. Like you can think that, I don't know, playing competitive rock, paper, scissors isn't cool. But then when you talk to someone and they get passionate about it and you're talking to them and they're like, man, I went to this tournament last week and blah, blah, then you're like, wow, that actually sounds really cool.
So then does cool need to be recognized or appreciated by the marketplace to have extra value or any value?
No, I think it's going to have value regardless. I think that, and everyone's different, right? So, and because everyone has a different definition of what is cool, you're never going to be able to sell it. I mean, you can sell it, but then you can also not sell it because that clientele doesn't want it.
Do you find we actually want individuality, like what you're teaching your son, or do you think it's just something we say, but then we'd rather just be part of the pack? Because I find that there is a bit of a contradiction there, where people they want to be a little bit unique, but not too unique. They want to be a little individual, but not too, and it's like you can't be just a little pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? Like you either are unique, because that's the whole point of being quote unquote unique. That's what unique means.
I think that there's different comfort levels in how much uniqueness you can take on. I think that I really feel like if you actually supported everyone in being themselves, everyone would be super unique. At some point, you grow up to the point where you're like, I don't care anymore about fitting in or doing this or doing that, and that is when you it stops mattering, right? So my goal is to raise my kid and start to live my own life like that. Not care anymore about the fact that I need to say Oasis is awesome or whatever, like I did in high school, and just be me and just like the music I like. And, if I really want to dance to Taylor Swift like that police officer in my car, then I'll do that, right? I feel like if you foster individuality at a young age and really encourage just being whoever and accepting other people and whoever they are at that point, then I think that individuality and that then everyone literally will feel cool and everyone will be cool and everyone will be way happier.
You're getting rid of then guilty pleasures then, because then everyone will like own it, whatever they're listening to, whatever they're digging, then isn't it?
Well, I still think in your head you'll be like, wow, I cannot believe that I like that. You'll still have those, like, it won't be a guilty pleasure where you're like, hee hee hee, and like hiding in the closet while you listen to it, but, or dress as it or whatever. But you'll still have those things be like for myself, that feels really out of the box that I like that. But then you'll also, I feel like in doing that or trying that, you'll also have another appreciation for people who are different from you, who don't like that. Like, I can sit down and have a really, really good conversation with someone who loves country, loves it, and come away from them being like, maybe I should listen to country. And then I'll listen to country, and maybe I'll like a song like Alan Jackson's Chattahoochee, and I'll be like, wow, that's really out of character for me. I'm super ashamed of that. Like, just individual, but they'll be like, but it's a cool jam. Like, I can get down with that. And that should be okay.
As you talk to all these different people and you collect these stories, you connect with them and try and find out what makes a person cool or how they're cool. Do these stories then influence you in the work that you do?
For sure. So when I moved to Toronto, I got a job at a Starbucks in the beaches, and there was this woman who came there all the time. And at first I was kind of like, go home. But then, you know, you work there, she warms up to you, you warm up to her, and there's these conversations start happening, and I'm like, you're a really cool woman with a lot of really, really cool stories. And for me, it's like, when I started doing this art thing, because I really only started last January, when I started doing this art thing, I was like thinking about really, really cool stories to tell or really interesting stories to tell and things that people would like. Once I told them the story, they'd be saying, okay, I get it. And like, I really like the way that's put together. And her stories came out in one of the pieces that's called The Dove Fantastic. And it's just this thing where it's like, she came here with nothing. She got a job at Sears, and she was like talking to people and realizing what they were like and not really sure how she fit in. And she talked about, you know, everyone being either a dove or a hawk, and talking about, to her, what a dove is. It is like this, you know, beautiful bird, and it represents all these like peace and whatever, and everyone wants to see it fly. And then there's like this hawk that's like beautiful for another reason, and it's super predatory, and it does whatever it can. And there's different types of hawks, and there are some hawks that actually like go and fly into like these other birds' nests and knock them out and like take over their nests and kill their young. And it's like
a whole like philosophy.
Yeah, and I was like, that's really, really neat. And,
yeah.
And so like people's stories and like actually getting to know someone totally influences me and what I do and especially in my art. Like I think that once you open yourself up to these stories and you let them impact you, then you really will be impacted in the right way.
So what is upcoming then for you in terms of your art, other than collecting more stories and becoming a cool individual? That's a heavy agenda right there.
Is that not enough for you?
No, we want more.
I have applied for Toronto Outdoor Art Exhibition, which I'm really hoping to get into this summer. I am doing Art Fest in Kingston on the Civic Holiday, and I'm doing Art Fest in the Distiller District in Toronto on Labor Day weekend. I am working on something that is apparently very top secret for the Pan Am Games. So whenever that actually happens, I have no idea when the actual Pan Am Games
June
are.
or July, one of the J months.
I feel like it can't happen when kids are in school. It's got to be July.
Yeah, maybe it's July. It's definitely a J month, though. I know it was
J month.
summertime.
It's not January.
Yeah,
it's got to be hot enough for them to participate and things like that. So anyway, when that comes out, I'm doing something with oh man, they're gonna hate the fact that I've forgotten what their organization is called.
Pan Am Games.
No, not Pan Am Games. The organization that found me. It's like, oh man, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Anyway, so they hooked us up with Pan Am Games. There's 3 artists, and so I'm doing something for that. I am doing something with a guy named Dwayne Forrest who runs a charity that teaches or like gets art into second and third world countries.
Nice.
So they're in Central America.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually doing some stuff in Toronto, which is not a second or third world country as well. But they're
We're heading that way. I mean, we just lost Target now. And
oh no! But he's trying to get us in Africa as well. It's called the Genesis Community of the Arts, and we're doing. I'm helping curate like an art thing through him to raise money for this charity, which is super cool. So there's stuff going on.
Yeah.
You can always check out the Instagram. Or I don't tweet as much as I probably should be as like a entrepreneur or whatever, but
As a brand.
as a brand, yep. I am hoping to do a t-shirt line, not just t-shirts, but t-shirts, sweaters, even some pants.
Pants, terrible.
Pants.
I hate pants.
I know you hate pants. Like
I
really
do
nice,
hats at least or something. Then like
really really nice underwear. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Fine. It's a compromise. Stupid society.
Under the name Good Feathers,
Okay.
which I found it was like a cartoon, but that bird thing. I don't know if you've seen it on some of my stuff. That bird has become like my thing. It's on my business card, like my art business card and all that stuff. So plus, I mean, there's always the actual work, right?
Mhm.
So I'm doing a whole lot of logos and stuff like that for something under the Motive One moniker.
So 2 questions, and then we're gonna wrap up. Both important questions.
Super important questions.
But super important. Forget everything else we just talked about. These are the 2 we're gonna get into.
Okay, I'm gonna empty my mind and get
yeah.
ready for these.
Number 1, what kicks are you wearing today?
I had a hard time with that today.
Because it's radio.
It's radio. Well, I was wearing my floral ZX Fluxes today, which ZX Flux are the cool shoes. I'm hoping that ZX Flux print thing comes to Canada, and I am definitely getting some of my art on that. I'm wearing Nike Air 980s. They're comfy. Plus, they're 3M. These ones, they're cyan.
Okay, yeah, and they got some nice color too.
They're cyan, electricity,
yeah,
and rose.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're 3M, you can literally truck through the snow and not have any issues. And it's bitterly cold and snowy outside.
Yeah.
So I had to walk the dog before I came. So I'm like, I have to wear shoes that I can walk the dog in, be comfortable in, and then go watch the All-Star game and then not feel stupid. So
That's
I'm
fair.
wearing those.
Did you like the new Kanye Adidas? I'm going on a tangent. I did not like them at all.
Okay, here's what I'll say: is I don't know if you know the Adidas line, the Y3 stuff.
No.
Yakamoto stuff. Okay, so there is I should tweet this out. There is a shoe that has the exact same silhouette as the Yeezys, but like they don't look like they're some sort of hipster hobo shoe.
Boot or yeah.
It's like if you took this Y3 shoe and made it have a legitimate love child with Uggs. That's what Yeezys.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
So this Y3 shoe like has that same silhouette and has like that same like almost like well done sloppy look to it, where it's like there's not a whole lot of hard structure to the shoe.
Yeah.
But the sole of the shoe actually looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not down with the rest of it. I don't know about you, but I can't get down with canvas shoes.
No, it's
the canvas shoes are for Converse All Stars, and that's it. Nothing else.
Yeah,
nothing else should be canvas.
I agree with you on that. And then I also found that his Yeezy's Nike work was a little bit more better. I found like the Red Octobers were a little bit
better.
More better.
More better.
More better.
More better.
In this radio, we can say more better.
No, I love more better. A good friend of mine, Jim Bryson, says more better about lots of things, and it's a great thing to say.
We should put out an album called More Better.
More Better. Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, I have no idea what happened. There's obviously like some sort of horrible breakup between Kanye and Nike. Like he wanted to like that kid in the airport. I don't know if you saw that video last week. It's like he was like, take your Nikes off and throw them in the garbage can, and I swear to you, I'll give you some Yeezys.
Yeah.
And he hooked the kid up right away, and it's like I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
The Nike stuff was good. I think there must be something about the way that the Nikes are made. Like, I mean, Kevin Durant is not wearing his new shoes. LeBron did not wear his shoes last year. The sole came off of Manu Ginobili's shoe halfway through a game. So there's something going on there. I mean, I don't hate on any shoe company. I used to not wear many Nikes. I've got lots in the collection now. I actually love the new KDs. But there's got to be something. Like, they broke up hardcore. Yeah. And I have no idea what it is. The Yeezys are really, really nice. Like especially the Red October ones are so nice.
I like those ones a lot.
I'm not as down with those. Anyway, it's one of those things where there must be something. I mean, the silhouette is very similar still.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that's Kanye's style, but I don't know what happened. And I'm surprised that Adidas let him just put out a shoe that looked half done, to be honest. Because everyone else who's put out shoes with them are like, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, like Pharrell seems to have done a lot of work.
Pharrell did stuff. He's worked on that, on like the Stan Smith model and the Superstars a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, you don't want to change things. But even like with the Stella McCartney stuff, like for ladies, or the Y3 stuff, or the Gons Sierra stuff, it's like the shoes they produce are like, they look like really, really nice. And those new Damian Lillards are really, really nice. But that's beside the point.
So then the second question, to wrap it all up and go back full circle, then is the Raptors. What's the final verdict for this year? 50 games, and then how far in the playoffs? What are you thinking?
To me, I would really like to see what happens with them before the trade deadline. I really want to see what happens.
You think they're going to make a move? I
feel like they should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they will. I don't know that they really have the assets that they think they do. They need... I mean, I feel bad for guys like Greg Steensma, who had a decent year in Boston, then floated around, then ended up on the Raptors, and like he needs to go somewhere, like to a team where at least he can get something.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have a whole lot of trade bait.
Yeah.
Amir Johnson is one of those guys like Jerome Williams who has this motor, but his body is starting to slow down a little bit. I mean, he's been playing in the league for a long time. He came into Detroit when he was 18.
He's got a lot of miles on the...
He does. And not just that, it's because of the way he plays. He bangs, right?
Yeah.
So I love Jonas Valanciunas. I think the kid is insane.
He's potentially tradable.
See, I wouldn't
get a
trade
lot
him
from at this point.
I
though.
wouldn't trade him. See, that's one of those guys that I would not trade him. I feel like you... See, again, that's one of those things where it's like, does he could go off.
Yeah.
But he also looks lost a lot. Like he seems to be one of those things where Toronto's gotten behind him and he plays well here.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't always have those good games, but because Toronto's willing to get behind him, if he got traded, I feel like it would hurt his confidence, and like I feel like he would not be the same player. But I mean, the guys from Soul Shift posted something that was like, what would happen if we took like Ross and Amir Johnson, and flipped them for Kenneth Faried? Does that help? To me, it's like the depth of their bench. When you get past Grievous, Vasquez, Lou Williams, and James Johnson, there's not a whole lot. There's no big guys, right? So
the bench is
no
a little
offense
thin for
to Tyler
sure.
Hansborough.
Hansborough! Psycho T!
Who does the same warm-up every time before the game.
Yeah.
He does this like little shimmy on the block and then does like a fade to the baseline, fadeaway jumper, and misses most of them.
And he cries a lot too in the game. He
does a lot of
whining. He gets a big baby Pampers award.
I feel like that's one of the reasons, not to take this right back to Carmelo, but that I can't get down with Carmelo is all the whining, and that's one of the things that bothers people. Like Griffin, same thing. It's all the whining. It's like, and Tyler Hansborough does the same thing. It's like you can be passionate about the game and not whine all the time.
Yeah,
I would love because the Hawks are my team only because they've been my team forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a kid, I saw them.
Yeah,
Hawks are my team, but then I got mad love for the Raptors. I really do. And so for me, ideally, in the East, I would see the Raptors and the Hawks play for the ECF. Like that would kill me. Like I would just be. It would every game. I would be glued to the TV, and I would be happy no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
In the West, I'd love to see 1 and 2 again. Golden State go up against Memphis.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the complete contrasting styles. That'd be amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And not just that, you've got like the unsung heroes like Maurice Bates on the Golden State Warriors, and then Mike Conley on the...
But then again, the Spurs don't care about the regular season. And then as soon as they get in the playoffs, they don't care about positioning. They don't care about anything.
And not just that, is that they got a Canadian kid, Corey Joseph, right? So wouldn't you love to see him get another ring on his finger? I mean, I'd love that.
So, it's going to be an interesting... I'm glad that the All-Star break now is kind of almost wrapping up, and then we can get into like the real...
Yep. The one thing I would love
season.
to see the Raptors do is if there's any way possible, Raptors, and you can do this, get Andrew Nicholson off the Orlando Magic. That kid is good. When he gets minutes, he's good. And we need a guy. He's like a young Amir. We need someone like that on this team. But trade whatever you need to trade. Get him on the team. I guarantee you, not just that, it's because he's from Mississauga. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you got a hometown boy. Instantly, Toronto's going to accept him, right?
Okay. That's a good way to end it right there.
Perfect.
All right.
Sammy, thank you.
Thank you.